Welcome back, everybody, to Champions of the Fog. I am once again your host, littlerugaard, and joining me today, hot off the trail themselves, Giltspire. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing pretty well. Cannot complain. I am well rested after watching plenty of very spicy comp matches today.
I would agree, except I'm not well rested. I am exhausted. Especially the last match. If you guys hadn't seen it, the last match was stellar and just a nail biter down to the very end. Crazy start, crazy finish. But with that said, we got one more for you guys today. We have Divine versus Deadheads, and we'll be playing on the Rancid Abattoir. I love that name, Rancid Abattoir.
It is, but like for me, always like as I'm reading, like, am I saying this right? I don't know. So I just go Rancid. It's Rancid.
Well, it is Rancid. That is very, very fair. And we're gonna be seeing. Am I to see if we were seeing a spirit in a corn map?
We are indeed. So we will be seeing some spirit followed by some nemesis.
The nemesis play is definitely sus. I have seen nemesis a total of what, 3 times this league so far, and it has not ended well. Every time it's just not good. And now it's like post nerf. Was it Marvin's Blood isn't nearly as useful?
Yeah. They did him dirty. I don't understand the reasoning for the nerf of Marvin's Blood. Like, it makes zero sense to me.
It makes sense from the way the behavior does their nerfing.
Well, yeah, they nerf.
It's used all the time. Gotta nerf it.
I think it's more or less, it's like they nerf based on the average player. And to be honest, I stopped into a stream, and no offense to this person, you probably won't even know that I'm talking about you. But like, I jumped into a stream and I was like, is this what the other 99% of players experience?
Yeah, you told me about that.
This is some smooth brain stuff, and I am impressed. But
most of the player base is not a 3K, streamer.
That is a fair point. But that being said, who is someone who is a fan of 3, if not 4Ks? Our spirit here, Julian.
True. I thought you were gonna make a segue into but who also has 3 to 4K hours? This person.
No, I'm getting close. I'm at 2.3.
Oh, no, I was referring to the killer, but no, hey, you're getting there. And again, it's not the amount of hours, it's the quality of the hours, and these guys have some seriously quality hours. That was not very long for them to find their first survivor.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a killer and you understand the spawn locations of the survivors, you are always going to be at an advantage. Julian, though, losing the Felix, amazing job there. I don't know if Julian noticed, but we did see the grass moving back and forth there for that double back. But Felix was just able to make it work, and this is a long first chase.
Yep. It's a long W hold, and I think they left. Oh! Nodders to yeah, you got it, good job.
Both of them were okay, I see what you're doing, and they both just did the same thing, went, here we are.
They mind gamed each other.
Yeah, just a little bit.
It seems like they have broken off chase to find whoever's on this gen. I imagine they will get the hit. Yeah, they do find Mikhail over here, and they get their first hit of the match, mind you. A little bit over halfway of the corrupt zone, about 30 seconds left, so not the most ideal start for Spirit, but Mikhail is leaving, and Spirit is okay with that.
Yeah, I was about to say, that is probably the best thing that the Spirit could have seen there, and a nice grab right there. And I do want to note, these survivors are well aware that there is a thanatophobia in play.
I didn't even check that. I was like, whenever I see skulls, I'm like, oh, it's a no-wit. It's like, oh, wait, no, this is active. It's thanatophobia. Okay.
Yeah, no, okay. I'll be honest, didn't even look at the perks myself, and just now like, oh, yeah, what perks they're running? They're running a Scourge Hook, maybe? Because, I kind of wish that comp would use Scourge Hooks a little bit more. I'm like, oh, thanatophobia.
I'm the opposite. I wish they would use Scourge Hooks and stop taking Deadlock and Scourge Hook in the same build.
That is fair.
That is my fair. Oh, man. Scourge Hook, good. Deadlock, sure, good. Not together. Not together.
Fair enough.
And that's the first gen for the... Okay, 2 gens for the survivors.
I was about to say, these survivors are very well aware that there is, in fact, no Deadlock this game, which is actually a little bit surprising.
I would tend to agree. I mean, here's the thing. If they were doing more chases and getting more cat and mouse value, I would... Oh, fantastic save there. Getting
and
the blind
fantastic body
everything.
blocks, too.
Oh, for sure. That was beautifully done. And we'll have to see, yeah, they're waiting at the bar of time here. We'll have to see if this Michaela has the decisive or not, as they are going to be tunneled out of the game. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is where Thanatophobia is good. And I understand taking it over Deadlock, but before, like, I think Deadlock would have been a better choice by the way they're playing this.
Oh yeah, I would tend to agree. I would 100% agree with you. Many times that I myself am thinking Thanatophobia, either it's a killer that can really just reap rewards from that perk, or in an instance, oh,
they got the save! Oh,
I honestly did not expect that. Like, also, like, I'm just talking about, like, wait, that's an ace!
Yeah, I was like, I know that Gen had a lot of progress, but I was like, I don't know where the ace was, and they got it, so not a lot of time, but that was a decent amount of time. However, they do have to now reset the ace as well. I don't know if that was time efficient.
Definitely a give and take, I think. Definitely a give and take.
But, I mean, this is only second hook for Michaela. I imagine the survivors are going to be able to reset. It's just a matter of time of how long it takes. No, they're going to do that Gen instead with the Felix, and Felix is going to take it. However, now they're in... This is a bad situation for them. They're all one shot.
All injured against the Spirit with
lucky
one
break.
Person on hook.
Felix had lucky break.
Yeah, so that is unlucky for the Spirit here, as they are not able to track him all too well, and you better bet that he's also running that Iron Will.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah, they completely lost him there. And checking the corn and the grass for knowledge, just not seeing it. I would have actually continued running into the open if I was Spirit, because you didn't see them hit any of those markers.
Yeah.
But regardless, they're going to make a clean breakaway. And I don't know about you, but I think Michaela's timer has been paused for a little bit.
Just looking at that too, I'm like, wait a second, it's been a while. Why is that not moving? So yeah, that was indeed kinship, and a bit of extra time to that hook. And there's the unhook, but note that everyone's still injured with the exception of the lucky break Felix.
Yep, and Live is going to get this Michaela a little bit of distance. However, I don't think it's going to be enough. They do make it to the window, though, not taking the chance for the lunge there. Another Gen getting done, so survivors have done 4 gens so far, and only 1 survivor is looking to be dead here. Felix will take the hit for this Michaela. Wow. Good coordination so far.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. There's only 1 generator left. The question then remains, will these survivors play around the possibility of a no-ed?
They're all injured here. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they should have reset. I know why they didn't. They wanted to make as much sure they had much time on the gen as possible, but now she's just going to go through health state after health state, and these survivors are gonna, you take the fresh hook here every single time.
Yeah, especially with that gen there where we have seen Pop Goes the Weasel. Spirit looking at that and going, oh, you know, 1 person slugged, 1 person on hook. Let me pop that real quick. We are good to go.
4 stacks of Thanatophobia. And yeah, you can just go for your death hook here. You still have somebody back here. Deliverance, though, from the Nia. A much-needed reset from the survivors is that you see, the Felix is getting reset. I'm sure that Ace is also getting reset here. However, Nia's going to have to wait a little bit. I don't know if they got the distance they needed. Spirit is hot on their trail.
Yeah, she's looking around, but so far there has been no sighting of the Nia, so that was a clean getaway.
Wow, I was not expecting that. I thought they had enough time and just not able to quite get it. Oh, they do see a survivor over here in the corn. Is it Nia or is it a fresh one?
Ooh, it is the Nia. I hear the Nia.
Oh, and they are not going to get away. Now, do they fear the DS?
That's the question.
If they do, they don't care.
No, decisive.
They were scared of Michaela having the DS for a bit there, but not from this survivor. Unless there's, like, you know, big brain waiting for that, but I don't know. I imagine you'd be able to finish this gen, right? They had enough time.
Oh, 100%. I mean, there was some genuine regression, and actually, if we're looking at that, the 4th cylinder is not firing off, and Spirit here for another clean 25% off the generator. So I don't know. I was really thinking here that these survivors were going to get a 3-man out, but things may have turned, and I think Spirit might be reeling back in the pressure.
Possibly. However, I don't think they have any... Yeah, they don't think they have a 3-gen here, so the survivors could just split the generator pressure. It takes longer, sure, but if Ace can waste time here, they have a shot, and we'll just have to see how this goes.
And Spirit trying to keep an ear out for the Ace does end up finding him, but he will get mind-gamed at the pallet.
That was a really good job. I think they had just a little bit of speed boost left over from that that phase out, and they used it to get that fake out on him, and it ended up working. What gen's being? Yeah, they're going to go to this other gen because they see that sparks are still on this one. So I don't think they've had 45 seconds. Or, well, you know, you need more than 45 seconds because it's 10%.
About 47. About 47. Oh,
Yeah.
47, then Thanatophobia on top, which, yes. Yeah. And that's an additional 4% or 5% per survivor.
Mm-hmm. Not vaulting back, though, so good read on the survivor here. However, I think they've hooked every survivor now.
I don't think they've hooked to Felix.
You're right, they haven't. Yeah, Felix has been the one that got away every time. No pun intended. Well, oh, no, full pun intended.
Yeah, but if you want to pay attention, we do see that Lucky Break has since expired. Yep. So this Spirit's going to be hot on his tail and will get the down at the pallet.
The question is, they reset the... Well, they didn't reset Nia yet. Do you think they went back to that gen or not? I don't know how they're going to get this out. The killer has the pressure they need.
It was so close. I think it just came down to if they would have reset and would have been able to take hits at that gen the first time, I think this would have been a completely different game. But since they didn't, I don't think they're going to get a single survivor out unless it's with the hatch, but things are looking close. But Spirit, once again with that, pop goes the Weasel, though this time not prioritizing the gen and going straight for the ace.
It makes sense. As of right now, if mistakes are made on the killer's part, they could get a gen done and get somebody out. If you get a survivor out and it's a 2v1, there's no shot.
Oh, exactly. 100%.
So that makes sense here. I don't believe Ace is dead, though. I think Nia's been hooked. So this Ace still has a hook state to give. Yeah, I have to agree. Like, if they had just reset... I know they wouldn't have got that 4th gen done, but they would have been reset. They would have been able to take hits. They would have gotten gen done eventually. They had that gen being worked on. I really think they should have reset that. And again, I get why they prioritized it. The killer wasn't hitting survivors. They were just, camping and making sure that they were getting the hook states on that one survivor. So, oh, they're not coming after anybody? We can, bang the gens up. But it's slower that way because it's not yeah. I think the reset. I think that's what cost survivors ultimately. Bummer.
It's unfortunate. Honestly, the survivors played really, really well up until that point, and it just came crashing down.
Yeah, as you say, in chess, you shouldn't practice the opener until you are good at the end game.
Yeah, I feel that, and Ace there with an interesting bait there, but it worked out well and got a lot of distance.
Yeah, they're saving that sprint burst. Been funny if they began the sprint burst, 1 second left in BT and got another. I think they would have baited it either way. Oh no, they're going down there though.
Yeah, but I do want to point out we still haven't seen Decisive Strike, so there is a very real possibility that it might be on the Ace, and there it is. I mean, it's a 50-50 shot, right?
True. I mean, we're expecting the Nia to probably have Unbreakable. Usually put at least one of the two on the Deliverance Survivor. And they're going right back to this gen. They have, again, they do have a split gen situation, but it's 15% slowdown. You're going to have to keep constantly resetting. Oh my goodness. I feel like the Spirit has had a rough time on this tile every single time they've gone to it. They need to break that pallet.
I think overall they've just been having a rough time against Felix. Let's be honest here.
That might be fair. Oh, no, they're running away, are they?
They're going somewhere, and they do get it eventually. Spirit looking all over the place, just trying to keep track of those footsteps.
And they are taking this, I would say the generous route. They are individually hooking these survivors. And, I mean, ultimately it probably still will pay off, but I feel like they maybe should have tunneled out Nia, or I don't know, to secure it, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Gen is not nearly where it needs to be.
I do want to point out, though, we see that Pop Goes Weasel has been used, and the generator Felix was on has some pretty good progression. If these survivors wanted to have a chance of getting someone out of the game, honestly, forgo the unhook, go for that gen, and that is exactly what they did.
All right, well played. However, we do see haste, so this killer is a 114 killer now.
Yeah.
I don't know if the survivors realize it yet. Honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if survivors had actually managed to somehow cleanse. They do get the unhook in that time, and Spirit has to wait for their power to come back up. They could pull something out here.
Yeah, I think it's a real possibility that we might actually see a 2-man out. I honestly will be surprised if that is the case, but these survivors, especially this Nia, is keeping the Spirit busy enough that I think 20 seconds later, we're going to see a 2-man out.
I think you might be right. And again, like, I think Spirit played way heavier into the hook states than actually getting another. I would have tried to get a survivor out immediately and make it a 2v1, but they took the individual chases and everything, and oh my goodness. Is this Nia, like, on steroids or something? Oh my word. The mind games aren't working. It's like she's an AI. It's like she has 2 brain cells left, and it's just absolutely bamboozling this survivor, or this killer. Oh my word.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it was bound to end at some point, and that there will be a 2-man out. However, a 2K10 hook for the Spirit ain't too bad at all.
Oh, absolutely. That's what? That's 20 points for the killer. That's 12 for the survivor. Is that correct?
It is currently getting calculated. I think, yeah, that would make sense. 12, 22. You would be right on the money. You'd be right on the money.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, definitely a win for the Spirit. However, the survivor, I think if the survivors had just reset, they had such a good comeback despite the Spirit just like absolutely cat and mousing and constantly patrolling, getting pops off and everything. If the survivors hadn't like that little misstep with the like not healing before doing that last generator, it could have been a 3 out with like maybe 5 hook stays. It could have been a complete reversal of what we just saw now.
Oh yeah,
110%. And again, like, they played really well against Spirit. Very resilient gameplay. Both Nia and Felix seemed to have the number on those loops. Every time she took chase, just couldn't get something going. I don't know.
I mean, the Nia did have resilience, so you're not right. She was rather resilient.
All right, yeah, it was my time. Good times. I'll be streaming just after this game. You can catch me later. Oh, man, but no, I'm kind of bummed because really good Spirit play, despite the fact that survivors were doing just absolutely out of their mind to play against that. I'm really worried for the Nemesis. I have not seen this killer perform at all. Oh my goodness, that skin is cracked.
Oh, I love the Blighted Nemesis skin. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's so juicy in more ways than one, but I think the survivors are going to juice the Nemesis. Like, nothing against our killer. Nemesis just struggles, like, again, we talked about this, I think, before, with the nerf to Marvin's blood. I don't know. This Nemesis is going to play absolutely out of his mind. And I guess you can eat the resources really fast. You just have to hold W. Like, he's a 115 killer. He doesn't get any kind of benefit to cross the map. They're pros. They know how to play, around the zombies. They're not going to get zombie. Like, the only time you ever get zombie tech in comp is like if you run around a corner, you just didn't see the zombie there. You're not gonna you're not gonna get pestered away from a gen. You're not gonna take a random hit. It's literally just gonna be. It's gonna be if the zombie moved to a really weird location and you're like looping shack and you walk around the corner. That's the only time you're gonna get a zombie hit in this game.
Oh yeah,
so,
I tend to agree. I will say they can be rather sneaky sometimes. Sometimes you're like, okay, I don't hear anything, no zombie noises. I'm looking around for the killer, and all of a sudden you just get slapped right in the mouth by a zombie. Like, excuse me.
Yeah, but at the same time, zombies are also useful to survivors who don't want to take a hit, and they're like, oh, there's a zombie right there. I'll just run into the zombie and get a speed boost.
Yeah, no, I'm curious on something. If you get infected, does Overcome read when you lose a health state or when you get hit?
I think it's when you lose a health state.
Okay, I was about to say, imagine that happening. You have Overcome smacked by a zombie infected and just boom.
Yeah, you zoom in. Let me double check real quick. I'm pretty sure when you become injured. Yeah, so it's literally just when you become injured.
Okay.
That makes sense.
It does make a lot of sense. I'd agree.
Oh man, no, I worry for the Nemesis. Again, there aren't technically a ton of palette resources on this map, all things considered. You've got like maybe 1 or 2 in the center. You got Shack. You got one at the meat tree. You got one at the other tiles. And if there's an LT, then there's no pallets. So if there's a lot of LTs, there's nothing. And he does actually play LT pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
You can get through the resources, but you can't put the same pressure as a map. Like, you can't do that. There's no movement speed. So you have to hope that you get a tight 3-gen and then just eat all the resources.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
It's definitely definitely a rough life. I mean, he is only one of 2 killers that can play pallets as well as he does, him and Billy of Low Pro. But realistically speaking, I think that alone doesn't make a good killer. Like, we see Onryo, for example, who I absolutely love playing. But they have great map pressure, but they have 0 chase pressure. Nemesis has some chase pressure, but he just doesn't have the map pressure like we wish he did with the zombies. I kind of wish the zombies were a little bit better, had a bit more brain in them.
Yeah, if they had a slightly better AI, that could be useful. Or if you, heaven forbid, gave the killer control of the zombies and told them to, like, do stuff.
Victor
like, obviously,
2.0.
Yeah, I don't think you could let them, like, tell them exactly where to go, because then you could just have them camp a hook, and that's not great. But, like, say, hey, go to this area and camp this area? Yeah, like, give them, like, region. I don't know. He's complex as is. I don't expect him to change anything. It would just be nice.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I would like as far as changing zombies is just to have their detection range and noise notifications be map-wide. The reason being is because one thing I found really good, as we found out earlier on, like, Discordance activates the zombies because it is a loud noise notification that the killer hears. The zombies hear it too. Scourge Hook, Pain Resonance, Tinkerer, anything like that. I mean, I think, like, Nemesis auto-includes Scourge Hook, Pain Resonance. That way, when you pop off a gen, they go immediately to the most progressed gen. Even if they don't get anyone, they're probably going to push people off of that gen temporarily, maybe long enough for you to go over with a pop.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good idea. I think we both just are absolutely in love with Scourge Hook, Pain Resonance as killers, so it really does feel it feels so good. But I'm not going to go on my 17th rant on how good that perk is. You know what is a good perk now? You know what? Behavior and put it in the shrine for us this week.
Wait, what's the shrine this week?
Shadowborn.
Oh. Just in case you wanted that.
In before the stretch res. Before the stretch res.
Wanted increased FOV. Yep.
I feel like that was a really on the nose thing, just saying.
Just a little bit, but
bit.
I mean, honestly, I think it is overall just better. Not for the case of, like, I don't care one way or another. It was a minor, advantage in certain maps. Sure. Ghostface, always felt miserable to play him against people who use stretch res, and you could feel it. But I think the biggest thing is it kind of quiets down the discussion between the people who were for and for not. Because both can now come together and say it no longer exists.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Now it doesn't matter, and if you still want to, lower your res, you actually can. It just means you have to deal with black bars. That's all it means.
Yeah, it does, and I mean, there's lower resolution settings for that if you really need it, and I think, and the thing that I will sympathize for as far as the low resolution is, I do think we need this game to get an overhaul optimization patch. Like, it needs 100%. A major overhaul. And so I do want Behavior to follow it up with that at some point. They said there's going to be an optimization patch. I don't know when it's coming. I don't know if it's for PC or just console. It really needs something to... Because, yeah, this game, like, I have definitely had games where I load into a map and I'm like, what is going on? I just don't have frames. I'm like, I have a top-of-the-line graphics card, a really sick rig, and I'm not even streaming on it. I stream on a separate PC, and I'm still getting frame drops. Why?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, my frames were for a while stuttering, like playing the game, but I haven't had it experience too much recently since the PTB dropped. So it seems like they may have fixed that issue at the very least. However, I was playing on Suffocation Pit today and saw a little bit of desync. Thankfully, knock on wood, Suffocation Pit ain't one of the maps that we use here at COTF, so we don't need to worry about banning that.
GG easy, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, wait, was that lag? Check ping. No. Crap. Desync.
Yup. One day. Again... It's still a far across stream. Gilt, I haven't heard you commit to this yet, but I still stand by Behavior. If you rework your code base from the ground, if you're watching this, if you rework your code base from the ground up, do not a new game, just not write it in blueprints, write it in a functional language. I will buy every cosmetic in cash immediately. I kid you not.
I mean, yeah, I'd be for it. I'll be for it. I will agree with you. I would 100% get all the cosmetics. I'll join you on that.
I would 100% throw myself to reward that. That is such a future sight move. It guarantees your game's longevity. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of bugs when you do it. You're going to have to do a lot of testing. I get it. It's going to be headache. You got to resource development. I'm a software dev. I get it. It's not going to be an easy task, but daggum, you'd be French kissing your community and saying, this is how much we love you. We are redoing our game from the ground up to make it as clean as possible. And I think your community would love you for it.
I would tend to agree. I think the biggest thing is that it's an eventuality that they're going to have to. Whether or not they even were to end last-gen support for the game, which I think is also an eventuality. Because whether or not you optimize the game as it stands, or if you don't, last-gen is going to lose out in the capability of playing Dead by Daylight as it is. So it's definitely going to be interesting when that time eventually comes, and hopefully by that time, people have access to the next-gen consoles for console players. Though I might, maybe giving behavior too much credit at times. Maybe that is why they have not gone for that just yet. Because the mass majority of the community still is on last-gen.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, not to knock them too much for this. This was during a period where the next gen was coming out right into the face of a pandemic where we had supply issues. So I know a lot of people that still weren't able to get that new gen over that period. Like, this just completely shafted that whole thing. And that's why they might have to stick it out a little bit longer to make sure the last gen is able to be serviced, because the next gen push of consoles was just stifled from the beginning.
Yep. So, well, only time will tell. Only time will tell. Thankfully, I'm looking forward to this year's anniversary. I do think they have a lot of things in the works, like Survivor icons on what they're doing, working on a generator and whatnot. So, a lot of things that I am very hopeful for. But that being said, we are jumping right on in, and we see Cookie here as the Nemesis.
And that corrupt situation is not the best. However, it's worth noting, almost the entire side of the map is a dead area for the gens. I might actually just not even... I wouldn't even try and save those gens. He finds a survivor immediately, though. Just, here's Johnny style.
Yeah, finds a fire immediately. We also see a zombie tracking a survivor as we speak as well. And nearly getting a hit there on Wispy.
The unicorn moment was there and it passed, and unfortunately no value for the Zombo, and lots of distance, however, for the Claudette. And yeah, Bazza, you kind of have to leave now. There is a better 3-gen on that side of the map.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So, if you're looking to hold down the 3-gen, definitely the place to be. However, I don't know if holding down the 3-gen's the right way to go about this, especially on this map.
I'm just saying that because 115 killers really struggle with the map pressure, so being keen on where it is. And again, they found at least one survivor, if not possibly two over here. So they are stirring the hornet's nest. Bamboozle?
Indeed. No bamboozle. That would definitely be an interesting choice.
I mean, anything to make a 115 easier, life's easier for Chase, because he's still in tier 1. He does get the whip, though. However, Marvin's Blood is not going to be able to get him a tier 2 with another one, so he's going to have to chase this one and hope they can just get it later. Still the Corrupt period, though.
Yeah, I mean, Corrupt is still up for another 15 seconds. Ace is still in chase, and Zombie's coming in. Might actually do something here.
Ooh, he does take a hit, though, so Zombie watches their catch run into the distance. Unfortunate. One day, Zombies will get value.
One day, I agree. But we do hear the first gen pop on off, and I will say, Corrupt intervention is since over. But these survivors do be seeing a deadlock somewhere.
That they do. And, I'm not entirely surprised. There's only so much that 115 killers can do. I do not like deadlock inherently, but if you're really not expecting to get that many fresh hooks on survivors, I understand the use of it over deadlock or over scourge hook. It's just more. I would have let that zombie camp for all that they want.
I was just there if people were like, oh, the zombie's trying to help, they're gonna face camp. I was like, that's excellent. But no, I guess they wanted the extra infection progress.
And another gen firing off. That gen actually has a lot of progress too. And they go right for the unhook when they leave. So good coordination and rotation from these survivors. And I have to see how Nemesis follows that. It looks like they're going to go straight for the tunnel. And this might just be the easiest play.
Yeah, I mean, I would tend to agree. However, these survivors, I think, are going to leave that one gen in the corner there, 99 under the assumption of deadlock. Claude coming on in for the pallet throw, but Nemesis did see that coming and will get the infection on her, so he is about 1, if not 2 hits away from tier 3.
And the ace is found here. Oh, I know where they were going with that, and it's unfortunate. Very good attempt, but yeah, I think ace is going to be a little bit more difficult to adjust. And yeah, they're gonna hold W here, right? Yeah, they don't stay at that loop at all. And we got a body block coming in as well. Trevor's doing a really good job rotating and taking hits here. Did I just see blood coming? Oh my goodness. I didn't realize that stepping through this area gives blood.
Yeah.
That's grotesque. I love it. A little bit out of range.
The little details, the little details.
Their behavior is very good about showing the little things, and ace does get reset there. And now Lori's gonna come in for the hit as well. They did get tier 3 though, so that is gonna give them that extra little distance on their whip. Uh-oh.
Look at that! That was a really well-played move, and I don't think even Nemesis understood what was happening before it was too late. Claudette had grabbed the vaccine, and as Nemesis was approaching, popped it off, hence I saw that killer instinct.
That was really well timed, and I had trouble processing that, so I'm like, wait, what? He was like, she's injured, it wasn't, the vaccine, good play, and
yeah, if Nemesis had just gone for the M1, it would have been done and done. And as you're saying, they are chewing through his gens, but there's that one gen still deadlocked. So Nemesis definitely in a bit of a rough position here, as deadlock is doing the opposite of what they would like.
True. And they do get the hit before the pallet. Not quite as safe as one would like. And now they're just running back into the, this is the run to the barn? No, yeah, they're running to the barn. Yeah, I get that I guess the question is, does deadlock, because they have to go 99 another gen or potentially do a 6th gen, is that more slowdown than getting, you know, maybe a total of 45 to 30% regression off of, you know, 2 to 3 scourge hooks? I don't know. I had never done the math there. However,
I mean, not to mention they don't even need to do a 6th gen, right? You just leave that 5th gen for the last one and you're golden. That's
true, that's true. I mean, if you're just, you know, if you're in a really tight situation and they actually, you know, got some pressure on you, I don't know. Again, Claudette did vaccinate, so they were able to take the hit at the window and just, yeah, this is kind of textbook from what I've seen from Nemesis. Like, this killer just has very little to no map pressure, and the chase, like, the whip is nice, it's good, it helps out in some situations, but man, the survivors really don't make it feel that way. And adrenaline on the Lori.
I want to say, though, looks like Nemesis has an adrenaline of his own, as he is now a speedy boy with that there Noed.
And no way out triggering. I don't know how much distance. I would imagine the survivors are, they're not aware of it yet. They haven't gotten a hit, but they're probably on that. Yeah, you want to proc the no way out as soon as possible. Oh, this is
and Lori holding true. But Nemesis blocking off the pallet nonetheless, and we do hear, just as Lori goes down, the end of the Noed.
Oh, man. There was a match earlier today where they cleansed Noed literally the split second before the survivor took a hit. And this was the opposite. Not quite able to get it. However, that's only the second hook of the game for Nemesis here. They don't need to come for the survivor. However, I expect they will. I don't think Lori had the borrow time, because they were on gens this whole time. They didn't try to really go for the hooks, as far as I remember. So I think both the survivors with borrow time are available. Not to mention Deliverance might even still be on the table. I think they've got the resources to get the out here. We'll just have to see how the Nemesis deals with it. There's the vaccine.
And there's Ace coming on in. We even see Claudia as well. Now it's gonna try and block this off, but I just don't think it's gonna happen. Because, yep, there's Ace blocking it.
Yeah.
And they are out of here.
Yeah, they are. Did this one get done? I don't remember. Oh, it's about to be done. Waiting at the borrowed time, if at all possible. I don't know if you're going to be able to.
Yeah, even if they wanted to there, I would be willing to bet that Lori also had a decisive strike.
Did they? No, Claudette had the decisive strike.
Okay. I think Nemesis was worried about that with them sitting right in front of them. But in the end, it did not matter.
Lori, I think, actually did have borrowed time.
Okay.
Is that right?
Let's see.
No, Lori had adrenaline. Never mind. Lori had adrenaline. Never mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Both the survivors with borrowed time were there for the save, and yeah, you are an M1 killer with no instant down. It's a bad time.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I've been playing artists recently. Like, survivors have definitely smartened up on how to play against them, and like I start feeling like, oh, I'm an M1 killer when survivors don't play into what I'm doing.
Welcome to my trickster life, when survivors a year later finally realize, oh yeah, this guy is easy street. What are we talking about?
That is fair. That is fair.
At least you're 5% faster than me.
True. But that there is the end of set 1, and Divine will take that W. But we are going to move on to set number 2 now, this time on the Suffocation Pit. And we are going to be seeing some Plague.
I am both happy and sad for this. I love Plague. I one of my favorite killers to play in comp. However, on the Suffocation Pit, I can only imagine if you play this, I would say in the most grindy, correct fashion, this can get very slow. I mean, Thanatophobia is an auto include for this killer. I'm curious if any of the teams will go for mass cleanse or if they'll just do it as they need. I think we've seen more of it just as need basis demands. And if you do, you go to the corner, you give them a really bad spot for their power.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to cleansing where the Plague does not want to be. I think if you're sitting there and cleansing next to active gens, around areas that are high traffic, then I don't really think, that's going to be advantageous for you as a survivor team. However, if you are cleansing next to completed generators out in the outskirts or corners where the Plague ain't going to be, then yeah, go for it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm doing a real quick check because last time, it's just Black Incense Iridescent Seal is banned. The choice add-ons for this killer seem to be very much up to debate. Most killers there's very little diversity. I've started to see more with the Pyramid Head, seeing that they take the extra 2 second instead of the extra, 1 meter on their power. That's interesting. I get why they do it as a playstyle. Most killers are kind of locked into the add-ons we see, like the Marvin's Blood. Plague has a lot of diversity. You can take like double apple if you're feeling feisty. You got the worship tablet. Like, they really, I think Behavior, one of the best tune-ups they've ever done for a killer was the Plague. They didn't make her overbearing, but they made her base kit feel playable.
Yeah.
And on top of that, her add-ons have such a diversity that I really like. Like, not very many killers have the diversity of playability on their add-ons like Plague does. Like, obviously, like Michael Myers, Wraith, Doctor all have like a diversity in playstyle and everything, but you don't really see a diversity in playstyle in the comp scene. Plague has diversity in playstyle across the board, whether it's pubs, whether it's comp. So many different ways to try her.
Yeah, I mean, it comes
really
down
like
to,
what they did.
Like, do you go for the increased infection time? Do you go for the infection rate? Do you go for pools of devotion? Like, there are so many different ways to, kind of tune your play style with Plague. And I think that's what add-ons should be.
And even maps,
Yeah, it should be, how can I change my playstyle in specific ways and make this killer a little bit different? And you do that on some kills, like Pig, for example. Are you going to want to go for head pops? Are you going to want to go for ambushes?
You cut out for me there. What'd you say?
Oh, because my drivers decided to go on driving, it would seem.
Oh, okay. And so this is one of those situations where I talk extensively about the Plague's add-ons, and let your drivers reset, right?
Oh no, they're fine now.
Okay,
Once they go out and come back and kind of get that little bit of a boop, they come back. But yeah, basically, you know, Pig is very similar in that way, in which they have a unique play style. That, you know, you can choose to go for ambush, go for head pops, but like Plague, I would say Plague, Myers, and Pig. Maybe Trapper. I'd say Trapper too. Are kind of like the 4 where add-ons matter, right?
Yeah. No, I would tend to agree, and I bring up the Worship Tablet because it's possibly the best quality of life add-on for her, I think. The fact that you can drink your pool mid-chase instantly without, like, skipping a beat, on top of the fact that as soon as you start, you know, using your power, you're still a 110 killer at that point, which is... That's not slow in a chase where you're holding up a power that's like one of the best range abilities in the game. It's crazy that the killer that's not technically a range killer is like has one of the best range abilities. Probably because they're in 115, if we're being fair. Same way with
I mean, Plague is so strange when it comes to her speed because like she moves from 110, gradually moves down, or 115, gradually moves down to 110, and then back up to like 113. It's just so odd. It's so odd.
Yeah, it truly is, but. Really cool killer. I'm curious to see how both sides play them. Again, like, I imagine we'll see Corrupt. We'll see Thanatophobia. Honestly, I think with the new chapter, I think Call of Brine might be a go-to perk on Plague.
I can see it.
Just because it, like, Ruin doesn't last. You don't want to take Ruin with her because you're not getting a long-term value, but dry kicking gens as Plague, like, you vomit on it, dry kick it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of, it feels good.
It does make a lot of sense, to be honest with you. We did run a test, though. I want to make sure people do understand how Call of Brine works.
It's so
only
stupid.
Regresses at 200% for the 60 seconds on the initial activation. So 60 seconds, 200%, basically Ruin on a stick for that time in place. But if you're running Pop Call of Brine, it's not bad.
No, I agree. I would be surprised if we didn't see a bit of a shift there for some killers. Again, with this killer specifically, you're already got massive slowdown. Ruin, like, if you could, like, in pubs, Ruin is fine. If you can, like, you can try and protect it. Sometimes you get more value out of it because the servers aren't going to be able to find it every time. And with the slowdown, like 10, 15% at any given time with the Plague, if you even get like 10%, or like, if you get like 10% or maybe 15% regression on a gen before a survivor comes and touches it, that's still really, really good when you're slowed down that much. And I want to see how much these new perks actually shake up the meta. I know the healing speed one has a little bit of concern around it. Do you think 10% faster healing speed for a perk slot is good for comp? I don't think it breaks it. Do you think that?
I don't think it breaks it, but the fact that it adds another healing perk to the pool, especially against like killers like, I don't know, Twins. Twins is going to be in a corner crying in comp because she's already so bad. Honestly, I think you only ban Twins because you don't want to play the grind game on ARP, not because you don't have We'll Make It, We're Gonna Live Forever, Desperate Measures, Botany Knowledge, Leader, Soul Guard, Unbreakable. Like, there's just so much raw value that you can get out of the healing perks that you currently have available in comp, let alone in the general game. So yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it's a good perk. I think it's a better empathy, realistically speaking.
Oh yeah, we talked about that earlier. Yeah, what are they going to do for empathy? Is empathy just going to be kind of left where it is?
Yeah, it's really strange. Like, yeah, you can see map wide, but like, why does that matter? I don't want to get off my gen to go find you. You come to me, and that's exactly what that perk does. And then on top of which, I can heal you 10% faster by running reverse empathy.
Yeah. It's a
no-brainer.
It's a weird spot. It's a really weird spot, and I hope they don't do like, all right, well, we'll just make empathy have more healing speed. Please don't. Especially if you give more. I don't know. It's. Regardless, new Scourge
what they could do?
Looks interesting.
You know what they could do?
What's up?
Make it so that every survivor can see other survivors who are injured. Basically make a kindred of injured.
That could be. Have the true aura bot of the team with Bond and everything else.
Yeah!
That'd be kind of cute. I wouldn't hate that. It'd be cute, but regardless, I hope that we get the game started. Okay, good. As soon as we went over the game, I was like, why are there no corrupted gens? Okay, now they're corrupted, and it looks like the Plague has something of a 4-gen. That gen in the middle is a little bit, yeah, it's technically out of the choke zone, but it's still in the center, and we're not even seeing them throw up. So they did take the worship tablet. Okay. Why? Oh, that's the answer. Every time I see the apples, like, why do you have the green apple? Why don't you take the green apple? Why do you take the yellow one? Because it doesn't increase the number of available pools.
Correct.
So it can force the survivors to give you your power in chase, potentially.
Correct.
Okay. Oh. They know that someone got infected on it, Jen.
And there are only so many gens that they got vomited on. But looks like Plague is actually going to ignore the Lori for right now, trying to get infection on the Nia. But Lori opting to go deeper into this corrupt zone. I'm surprised to see the Plague not pursuing.
It's a bit of an interesting thing. I guess there's the fact that, I mean, she's a 115 kill until she gets a power, and her pools seem to be both on this side of the map, so a little interesting. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we saw a drink up here and tried to get it down real quick, but now that's near Shack. Yeah, look, her pools are on one side of the map and her corrupt's on the other.
But honestly, though, I'm looking at this and I'm kind of going, you know what? Leave these pools here. That means that they have less pools to drink up over here, and they're forced to then drink up pools in my corrupt zone. True. I think that's a good thing for Plague if she were to play into her corrupt zone and not over on Shack's side.
I would tend to agree, because these survivors are definitely looking at that center gen right there and getting it out of the way. However, Lori has finally broken. Claudette is about to break here in a second. Waiting until the last second, but unfortunately, they are not going to be infected before that hit. I imagine we'll see them get infected in just a second.
Yeah, I think Plague here is picking the wrong side and or not even attempting to potentially even play their 3/4 gen. And Corrupt Intervention is now over. Do want to mention, though, these fires are very well aware of the existence of a Thanatophobia.
Yep. Actually, wait, is that the worship tablet or not? No, it's not the worship tablet. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. That's the Devotee's amulet. My bad. I thought that was
remind me, which one does that do?
Okay, so the Devotee's amulet is the one that increases the corrupt purge duration by 20 seconds. So she's got 20 seconds longer of corrupt.
Okay, I see.
I don't know if I prefer that. I definitely like the worship tablet more. And, they're gonna stun. Oh, that's gross.
And this, friends, is why I swing out of pallets no matter what now. Like, I will always, because I think Cookie here would have swung out of that pallet, I think they would not have been stunned.
It's very possible. That might be one of the worst resets I've seen for a killer in a long time. Yeah, they get the hook shortly after, but
they're out of power now.
Yeah, they're out of power. That add-on they have did jack diddly squat, and they're down a corrupt pool. If the survivors realize there's only one pool available now, they can pretty much deny this killer their power the entire game, as another gen is gone.
Once again, this comes back to kind of what I was saying, though. Like, why even care at that point? Just play your 3 or 4 gen. Just sit back there, let them do the rest. They can cleanse all they want on Shack's side, but then they're going to have to eventually start coming over to your side on gens fully broken.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, and unfortunately, I don't know if they have... Yeah, no, they still have a 4-gen over there, actually. Wow.
Yeah, no, and one of them was being deadlocked, so I don't know if that gen had some wicked good progression, or these survivors are leaving at 99 for a reason.
That's a fair question. I wouldn't know, and they are... interesting way to play this loop. They're in Bloodlust, too. Not trying to mind game at all, and they do get the hit finally in Bloodlust 2. Another gen don't. Yeah, that's their 99 gen, I guess. Wow.
Which is a really strange gen to keep 99, but hey, if it works, it works.
True, and worth noting, I don't know if the time would have expired by now, but Claudette, I don't think, has decisive here.
And no decisive.
Listen to that gen.
Yeah, it is
Oh, no.
primed and ready. I mean, they pop it off now. It's a 2-1 split. I mean, these survivors pretty much are set.
They are set. And, yeah, I mean, if Plague is able to regress this and keep it down, it's a dry kick if it looks of it, but...
Seems like Plague needs Call of Brine.
Yeah, right? Oh, my goodness. I really want to see if Call of Brine makes it. Like, it's obviously not for everybody, but it's niche. Yeah, you can't even go get your power. That's a rough spread. I mean, to be fair, you did lose your power early on, too, with that pallet. I don't know. This game, yeah, and like you said, go and cleanse in a dead zone.
Yep.
They are cleansing. They are ready to pop that gen.
Yeah, and I think Plague is prepping for the unhooks here. Got their power up ready. I think she might be forgetting, though, that I think she swallows if she holds it for too long, no?
I actually don't remember if that's a thing. Is that a thing?
I'm pretty sure it used to be a thing at the very least.
That might have been. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at that, but they are going to be taking body blocks. So I'm guessing Claudette does not have decisive here, but they are going to be able to get to this pallet.
Ooh, but
and,
we
yeah,
hear that gen that the ace was on. That gen the ace is on right now, it is just about ready. And there's the body block from the Nia. Yep. Attempted first pallet stun. Oh, no!
Oh, I can't believe it took that long to get him out of the hit recovery. That's brutal.
Yeah, I mean, it shows
Absolutely
you how
brutal.
long that takes. And there's the gen at logs. Once again, the gen being deadlocked is primed in 99. But Plague really going for this Claudette here. Wants to get the kill on Wispy. But I don't know. I don't think they're going to be able to do more than a 2K at best.
I would tend to agree, especially like, I don't know if their power is in a good range. They do get the down, though. If there's no
attempted
flash,
CJ tech.
Yeah, but I don't think they try their CJ tech, but no adrenaline either from them. It looks like they're going for a slug play. Maybe they are wary of DS. I'm not sure.
I mean, I feel like it would have definitely have popped off last time we saw the Claudette. There's the Dead Hard on the Lori, and looks like Plague going to be going back for the pickup on the Claude.
Do they see the scratch marks here? Is that someone leaving? Yeah,
I think that's someone leaving for the pickup, but they knew that Lori wasn't around for the flashlight save, and I think that's what mattered to them in that moment.
True. Also worth noting, there is no way out, so the survivors are just now able to get it. However, by the time the Plague walks to that, you just can't get it.
Oh yeah.
Like, the biggest hindrance and counterplay to this kill is the fact that good luck getting your power. They're cleansing again. 2 survivors, I think, cleansed, or no, just 1. And that was actually nearby. They actually know where this survivor is. That might have been a mistake cleanse.
But they're going to be venturing off to the other exit gate. Yeah, no, they know Lori's back there in Suffocation Pit. Honestly, if you protect that exit gate back where they were, and just kind of box them out from, touching the exit gate over by main, I think you would have had a better bet. But surprisingly, Plague does make the journey over here, and Ace had yet to get that 99.
True, so they could actually get it here. Oh, that was a beautiful attempt there. I appreciate that.
But yeah, you know what's up here? We are going to see 2 out, and here comes the hatch. Oh!
Yep, you are correct. Oh, he pointed!
No! The ace!
Oh, that would have been crazy to see 2 hatch plays at the same time, but I think they were expecting to go for the swing, so yeah, animation lock so that way you can immediately jump back in. But they didn't. They out-mind gamed the mind game, and they went straight for the kick.
Yep.
Oh, both of these players were on cloud 9 when they were making their computations. Like, all right, come around the corner, they're gonna swing for me, I'm gonna point, and I'm gonna, immediately jump in the hole. And the killer's like, all right, they're gonna, they're gonna bait out the head, and they're gonna jump in the hole. I'm gonna wait, and I'm not gonna hit it. Oh my goodness, cheeky play. But I do believe, if I remember correctly, a 2K with 2 fresh survivors getting out is a 17 to 15 for the survivors, or is it 18 to 50? I forget. I almost had these memorized.
Are looking at 16 to 12 in Divine's
Okay, 16 to 12. Okay, I'm not even close. All right, so not an absolute loss for the killer, especially losing your losing your first hooked survivor and losing your power at the same time. Definitely made a bit of a comeback, though. Definitely a bit of survivor error on the survivor's part there at the end.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think, like you said, they're both like thinking it through, and I think from the Plague's perspective, there's never a moment where I would have swung. I think I would have done exactly the same and just try and just jam my spacebar for the close and hope and pray that I get priority. And I think that's exactly what Cookie did there and did get the close, and Ace suffered for it.
Yep. Yeah, they did. I mean, it was a smart play for the Ace's part. I mean, get the out. I'm chasing around Shaq. I loop right around the perfect time to get the hatch and just didn't quite pay off. And now we get to see Plague again. I'm curious how Divine will be playing Plague this match.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see, at least if we see similar add-ons, we see a similar style. I would imagine, though, we're probably going to see a scenario where we see a bit more aggressive defense of the 3 or 4 gen.
Probably. I think trying to figure out your strategy after you get your corrupt spawn, you see your pool spawn. It definitely was an odd one, but I think I would agree after a while. I was like, yeah, eventually they have to come into your 4gen, and they have to start cleansing somewhere, which is going to be inside your 4gen. It could have created a bit of a stall out, but yeah, I don't know. I guess that's the issue, is that killers don't always like to lean into that super grindy play style at the end. I mean, I get it. It's a very mentally taxing gameplay.
Oh yeah.
If you play killer, especially at a comp level, for any more than 15 minutes, it's you need a rest after that. It's rough.
Yeah,
so I get it,
I've been there, done that. Totally agree.
Yeah, it begins to get a little bit out of hand. It's just a different style, but we'll see if they play into that. Again, we might see the Plague snowball. I mean, obviously, if the survivors get caught out unawares, Plague doesn't have to play the grind. They can just snowball. They can, you get their power, choose injured survivors nearby. Yeah, you can definitely get some pot shots. I have seen some wacky shots from this killer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I 110% agree, and I think, it's just going to come down to, for very literally, player's choice on what they decide to do. But I'm excited either way. I really do love, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, love the buffs that they gave to the Plague. And, hoping that soon, I was really hoping to see it in the PTB at least. Maybe, mid-chapter update, we see some buffs to the Ghostface and the Legion.
I was about to say, we didn't see in the PTB. I don't know if it's going to be at the same time. If they are reminiscent of previous patch, like the previous big one where they literally looked at 4 kills at the same time. Yeah. It's not outside of the possibility that we might see them both at the same time getting a workover, but I think Legion was the first one. They said they might do Ghost. I don't know. I would love to see both of them at the same time. It would make for a more interesting PTB, because usually it's, I never saw one non-Ringu killer during the PTB this time around. And when there's a PTB with like the previous PTB where the four different killers got changed, there was a bunch of different killers. I mean, to be fair, the survivor queues were instantaneous, because not only is whenever there's a new chapter, everyone wants to play the new killer and see them. And that one, it was 4 different killers getting changes, and everybody's like, mine.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting, and honestly, if I were wanting to see a change from one or the other first, I'd probably want to see Legion's change first off and foremost, to be honest with you.
Yeah, same.
I also want to mention that, in the Q&A that will not be mentioned, they did say that they weren't probably going to do, big updates like they did that one time with, Trapper, Clown, everyone. You could shake a stick at.
It was Trapper, Deathslinger.
Yeah.
Spirit.
Yeah.
And... oh, I'm going blank. It's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, I know. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm forgetting it.
Pig?
Yeah, Pig. Yeah.
So, we probably aren't going to see, large 4 killer updates like that unless they, for lack of a better term, sandbag the update until like they have this big thing, which honestly I think the community would both love and hate in its own right, because it would be a huge awesome moment when it does happen. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind, a tweak here and there on killers every mid-chapter, every chapter update, what have you.
No, I would tend to agree. I think I also appreciate the fact they've been like tweaking series of perks here and there. Not a bunch, just a small pool at a time. Like, all right, we're going to do these things to them. And this past time, Boil Over and Dead Man's Switch, they got a lot of love, and they've tuned them.
A little bit too much.
I still think Dead Man's Switch needs to be tuned down a little bit. 45 seconds is strong.
It's a long time, and honestly, I kind of want it to get turned down to like 30, because then I can pop Goes to Weasel that same gen. I'm just saying.
Like between like pop and also as far as being able to like work on it, it's really dang strong, and I guess that's the thing that makes it not oppressive at this point. It is a long time for it to be down, but it's the fact that you can't pop it. So
yeah, that's true, and maybe that's why they won't make that change. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Who
would have guessed that Pop Goes the Weasel and Dead Man's Switch can't go together, just like Deadlock and Scourge Pain Resonance can't go together?
I mean, they can. It's just not a great combination.
It shouldn't. It's an abomination. Speaking of abominations, back to Plague.
That's rude. You hurt her feelings.
I'm curious what add-ons we're going to see from this Plague. I imagine we'll see a somewhat similar build in Atophobia, Corrupt Intervention, maybe a little bit like maybe No Way Out Noed instead of just No Way Out. I can only imagine. But I'm really curious if we see similar add-ons. Devotee's Amulet is not something I would immediately go to. I get the idea behind it. Extra time in your power is super good. It's really, really solid. I just really like the Worship Tablet. It makes the chases, especially on that map, survivors are going to be in and out of those tiles. It gives you the ability to catch up to them and use your power. Whereas otherwise, you're really struggling to keep up with them in the tile and then get your shot off anyway. Or even a Viola Medic, the range is actually pretty nasty. You can get some crazy shots with the add-ons. Seriously, I can go on for days. The add-ons are so good. I'm curious what they're going to bring. I do expect them to bring an apple. Apples tend to be the way it goes. And now that I've finally been enlightened as to why they bring a yellow instead of a green, makes sense. It's weird to me. It's another one of the situations where the lower tier version is better than the upper tier.
Yeah, definitely a strange one for sure. But we've talked a little bit. I know that you've talked about the Onryo with other people, but I want your thoughts. What are your thoughts on Onryo? Personally, I really had a lot of fun over in the PTB. I don't know if you saw, but I may have cracked the code a little bit on when I'm playing against some smooth brain survivors, getting back-to-back Moris. Because I was like, okay, let's challenge ourselves. Let's see if we can get 4K Mori. And we were playing a mid-witch in the game consistently with her, and man, every match, 2 to 3 Moris per game, and always a 4K. And I'm like, man, this is fun. I'm just going through my TV rotation, going teleport, 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 and all of a sudden I see someone pop up like, and you are gonna die without ever being on a hook.
Seems like it's fitting your pig challenge pretty well, huh?
It was. I was having a blast. So, do I think that they're going to be a top-tier killer? No. They have great map pressure, horrible chase pressure, though you can do some really sick mind games with those teleports because you get an undetectable and sprint. And so when survivors are mid-chase and have TVs nearby, teleport right to it and then end up behind them, and there's excuse me, what?
Yeah. I think she's one of the most interesting stealth killer designs that we've had so far.
Yeah.
In fact, I think she might be the best designed stealth killer we've gotten so far. It's genuinely spooky. There's not a lot of hints of where she's coming from, and when she's there, she's just there. But at the same time, I don't think she's better than Wraith.
No.
She's not the most powerful, and obviously not better than the Spirit. No. Probably better than Michael Myers, probably better than Ghostface. So she's right in the middle.
Yeah.
And I guess that's fine. I think we might see a bit of a tune-up from the PTB. She didn't feel super... I agree. Wasn't super strong in chase. I think if they took down the cooldown period for, what is it, a minute and a half when she teleports to TV, it's down for a minute and a half before it comes back up again?
Yeah, I mean, I ran the
think that they
add-on that
tune it
reduced it
down.
by like 12 seconds,
Yeah.
and that definitely helped out get the condemn. But honestly, I don't know. I think if you're playing like a normal game, you're not going for Moris. I don't think that's the way to go, is the unfortunate thing. Like,
Well,
I think when you're
that's the thing,
playing like a
it's not-
normal game, the condemn is just like so lackluster. Like, unless you're
Right.
going for the Moris. It's like it's like either you're going for hooks or you're going for Moris. But if you're going for Moris and survivors aren't smooth-brained, then you're going to just simply sit on gens and never be hooked, and you're going to get a 4-mana, maybe a 3, what have you. But I think the biggest thing is that they could do for her is, like, maybe have it be like Pinhead, where Condemned passively builds. Like, it doesn't need to be quick, but, like, some form of passive build over time would at least force survivors to go do that and go get VHSs. I think that might be the way, because then she has some, like, genuine gen slowdown, because they go, oh, my Condemn is getting up. You know, if I don't go now, she might teleport near me and Mori me. I think that would be a good idea.
That's kind of what I was getting for the teleport method. But also in addition, you're able to teleport more often, which gives her a possibility of using it in chase.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the biggest thing. Is like, I think her map pressure is pretty good. I agree, it's some kind of passive pressure with the combination. It doesn't feel like very good passive map pressure sometimes. If they made it faster or made her be able to teleport more often, it would help increase that, because they obviously don't want to bring it down from 7. That's very flavorful for them.
Yes.
Something to bring that up, and I think that just making it able to teleport more so that she can get more teleports and better chase value, but we'll have to see.
Indeed. But we see Julian again, this time on the Plague.
The same add-ons.
Yeah?
Okay. Maybe there's I get it. Worship Tablet's good. I would have liked to see something different, but I get it. Like, 20 seconds is 20 seconds on your power. Our power is like, what, 60 seconds already?
Yeah.
So 80 seconds of terrifying plague. I understand it. And worth noting, there's... Oh, they did. Okay. These pools are way better. They're all central located. That is a much nicer area for the pools.
Oh yeah, 110%. That's the hard part about Plague sometimes. It really can be RNG reliant.
On the most RNG reliant map too. Oh, they do get that just a little bit of glob on the Nia's feet, and so Nia will be infected now. And leaving off, I think this is the Felix over here?
It is indeed, and some good infection progress there. And Felix needs to get out of dodge ASAP. Honestly, take the hit from Plague and go, because if you stay for much longer, she will full infect you, and you're going to be down in the corrupt zone.
Yep, and she's going to have bloodlust too, because you've been chasing for so long. Yeah, she's doing that on purpose too. She's waiting for the infection to happen so that way she can get bloodlust or get a hit. Oh, man.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but Julian
split second!
just barely.
Oh, that's so brutal. They timed it well. They had the idea of when it was. They were just maybe 1 glob off or 1% off, and Felix will be able to... Oh, they will be able to go down at the pallet anyway.
Yeah, some good mind games there, and they will be able to get this hook, and looks like they're going to drag them into the middle, probably trying to keep this hook centralized. I'm curious to know, like, what side of the map that the Plague will end up sitting at.
I think they're gonna sit near the center edge. Like, you can obviously like look at your gens over here, but now I'm seeing it. So it's 80 seconds on your power, and you can completely camp a hook in section. However, this survivor's going down. They are caught in no man's land. That was not the pathing to go. And yeah, now the other survivor's coming in. Oh no.
This is a rough spot for these survivors to be in, to say the least. I mean, the only person who can actually unhook right now is the fully infected Nia.
Yep. And they're going to block off here. However, yeah, they vaulted back over. Smart for them. Mind game here. If Michaela has the Unbreakable, they're going to be able to get the unhook now, I think. Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, not BT.
Iframes.
Yeah, that was iframes right there, so Felix dodging a bullet there, but I don't know if he has BT. I mean, that was 2 survivors on the ground. I mean, there's a high probability that Ace just didn't have BT and Felix may have lucked out.
I agree, and I think it's not going to matter. Yeah, they do get the hit there, and you got 3 slugs. Nia's somewhere. They're going to go immediately for this survivor, though, and this is kind of what I mentioned before, where it's like, you don't have to play the grindy game. This killer can just straight up snowball.
Oh, yeah.
Michaela is picked up. Power has alleviated. However, they ran right next to where that other corrupted pool is. Maybe a bit of a miscalculation on the survivor's part. They're in the danger zone.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to see a second stage progression here. I mean, there is not a lot. Wait, actually, wait. Felix already went to second stage, but their timer has not moved at all, so kinship?
Instant kindred. Instant kindred. Or not a kindred. Kinship, yeah. Instant kinship.
Okay, I was like, wait a second.
Michaela.
And it looks like they are going to try. I think they're trying, but I think the tree would have blocked, and I think they realized that too, and unfortunately just aren't going to be able to get the hit on the unhook.
Ooh, that was a bit of a misplay there. Maybe they thought they had borrowed time up or something, and yeah, if Nia's the one with the unbreakable, that's going to be super unfortunate. I don't think they ran over here.
The least, and yeah, no one is up as of yet. There's a pretty delayed dead hard, but it worked out in the Nia's favor. And yeah, I mean, it's been long enough for an unbreakable to happen. There is no hex totem, so no soul guard value coming in here, and I think this is going to be the 4-man slug.
True. I would have to agree at this point. As yeah, Nia, nobody's gotten up. Nia's going to lose a bit. Ooh, 360 though. Okay, respect.
Very cheeky 360 play there. And Nia gonna be still continuing his chase, maybe trying to get someone up. If she has an unbreakable, the best thing she could possibly do is try and get someone up and then get slugged out. But
oh man, they weren't able to get the. I can't believe they didn't get the pickup. That was, I think Ace was possibly tried to be picked up twice by the Felix and by this Nia, and both times was not able to finish it.
Yeah,
that's really shocking. Deliverance maybe from somebody?
Yeah, that's the only thing I think then keep these survivors in the game would be a deliverance play. But the question is, who would have had it? And I think we only saw who? We saw Nia unhook, right?
No, Ace. We saw Ace unhook.
Okay, so Ace might be the only place where these survivors can have some hope.
Right. Oh man, that
for those of you,
I think I can find the Ace.
For those of you in the East Coast, hopefully you got my little joke there.
Jeez, you and your jokes. Well, no, they do find the Ace, and they can just, you know, stare it up at them. Now, this would be a time if Ace had Deliverance and Decisive, and Unbreakable.
Yeah. Needs all the perks. Hacks. All the perks.
I don't know how they're going to leave them. Are they going to actually, like, give them a false sense of hope?
You know.
Huh. Yeah, they do.
There it is.
Do the Deliverance.
There is Deliverance, as we thought. And so these fires are not out of the game, but I don't know if they're in it either, to be honest with you.
Possibly not. Oh, they do get the hitbox on the Ace there.
Ooh.
That was threading the needle. It's so hard.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's... Again, from 2 killer mains, that is incredibly difficult to thread. Like, the Survivor on hook like that hitbox is girthy. You can swing, not be like they won't even be on your screen, and you'll hit them sometimes. That was pixel perfect, absolutely. Oh man, but that was that instance of what I said. The plague has a snowball, and my goodness, did she snowball! Also, I think they did tit for tat. That is the same build, I think, from last game.
It is indeed. You know, we didn't exactly get to see the Deadlock pop on off, but there we saw the Noed, the Corrupt, and honestly, not Noed, No Way Out, and the Thanatophobia. But with that being said, that there will be the end of the match.
Unfortunate indeed for these survivors coming in here, but congratulations to Divine, and I believe they're going to get both sets and the match point today, aren't they?
Yep, that would be correct. You know, definitely a close first set, but that final set there, definitely showing the different play styles of the Plague. One going for that snowball pressure and just ripping through those Survivor's Health states, and one that's maybe playing a little bit slower, but either ways was fun to watch. And Divine will come out on top with 82 points and Deadheads with 30, so congratulations to Divine and GG, well played to Deadheads.
Indeed, and with that said, that is the last match of the day. We do have 2 matches tomorrow, 12 and 6 o'clock. The 2 and the 4 had to be rescheduled due to some issues on the team, but we will have 2 tomorrow. And with that said, you've been watching Champions of the Fog. I have had the chance to cast with the lovely Giltspire. Giltspire, I heard you stream. Is that true? Is that real? Is that a rumor?
That is not a rumor. Okay. I do indeed stream. I am, in fact, an educational Dead by Daylight player, here to teach guys how to play Killer and survivors how to play against Killer. However, you know, for those of you who are also a fan of things like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, maybe Elden Ring, I will be streaming Elden Ring next Friday as well, so make sure to stop on by for that.
So those who like masochist, I'm kidding. I can't do it. Watching these guys play that game is just insane.
You and I play some Dead by Daylight, so you're one to talk.
That's fair. I just don't know how you guys play those games. It is impressive. I'm like, they're not getting hit? Wait, what? Galaxy brain and patience beyond recognition. Oh my word. I don't know how you guys do it, but I'm impressed nonetheless.
And Rue, I hear you're going to be live here in just a few moments. Is that true?
I don't know. I think I went live just a second ago, so I would have to agree. Yes, and I'm streaming. I think we're going to go over there in just a second because I'm making Gilt with gunpoint. You don't see it, but I'm holding Gilt at gunpoint. He's going to raid me in just a second. But yeah, I'm going to try and get some more trick blades. I've been trying to make a trick blade compilation, and I'm getting close. I've got like 10 clips so far. You know, like these, the Survivor 360 compilations you see mixed with various rap music. I want Trickster with K-pop music. I want trick shots.
All right. I look forward to seeing it. But with that being said, guys, we will see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. CST for some more Dead by Daylight. Bye-bye.
Take care.